Hi everyone, this is Elif and welcome to this new CSM Tips video. Today I wanted to do a video about our new report that is called the Comparison of the Day. It's a report that we created to make it more easy for you to compare all the trainings you recorded on a certain day and to have a very visual, quick, easy analysis of those trainings. It allows you to compare all of your horses also super easily and see who is more advanced in the work, who had a harder time recovering, this type of thing. So here we have an example of one of our reports. The report is structured based on the tracks that will be used by your horses on the day you want to compare. So here we have a first page for our track 1, and then we have another page for our track 2. So the horses are just categorized by tracks. So here we have the horses who worked on the track 1 on that day. First, we have a table with the splits. So it's a very cool feature because it really allows us to see who kept going until the finish line or who started to slow down a bit before. So here, as you can see, we have the finish line here, and then all the last splits. So that's 1 furlong, 1 furlong, 1 furlong. And you can see the time for each of the last 200 meters, each of the last furlongs. So here we can clearly see that, for example, Arion 4 here was the one who was the fastest on the last furlong, whereas Arion 2 and also Arion 1 is very close, were slightly slower on this last furlong, but the difference is it's not that big. So allows us to really compare this. And here we can see, for example, that Argon 4 was the fastest on the last furlong, but on the furlong just before, he was much slower than Argon 3, for example. So allows us to really compare the speed very easily. And then on the second table, allows us to compare all of your key parameters. So those are the key parameters that are set up on my account. So it will compare all of those parameters. First, we have the speed parameters, so max speed, best 200, best 600. The ones that are circled here are the fastest for those parameters. So Arion 4 had the highest max speed, the fastest best 200, but Arion 3 had the fastest 600 meters. The highest working distance was for Arion 4. And then we compare the fast recovery, the heart rate after 15 minutes. So here it was not a very fast work, so we can easily see that the fast recovery is actually very good for everyone. It was a very easy work for them. And then we have the heart rate after 15 minutes, which is very good for everyone. Maybe slightly more difficult for Ariane 3. We can see the color is a bit towards the yellow here. And if you would have a very hard recovery, it would be more orange or red. But green is good. So allows you to see very instantly who recovered better or who had a harder recovery. Here, the horses were not fast enough for us to have stride length, stride frequency at 60 kilometers per hour. But if they were fast enough, we would have those values. And we can see it's the case for the horses who worked on the track too. So on the track 2, we have same, the splits here. It was slightly faster works. We can see, for example, that the one who really maintained his speed the best on the last 3 furlong was RN10. We can see the blue here is darker on the 3 last furlongs. And we can see, for example, the ones who have lighter blue, or gray were slower on the last furlongs. And you can also see the gallop out, like the last furlong after the finish line, which can be sometimes quite interesting. And then we have on the last page, same, the recovery that is compared. Here we can instantly see that the trainings were the most intensive for RN8 and RN10, and the recovery was extremely difficult for RN10 here. We also have the heart rate at end in BPM and in percentage, with the time here that you have. That is the time between the end of the effort and the moment where we calculate the heart rate at end. So here the horse was able to go down to 35% of his max heart rate after 11 minutes and 39 seconds, for example. And then here we have the stride length like 60. It allows us also to see instantly who has the longest strides. Here are in 14, are in 12, are in 7, and who has the shortest strides. Here we have R in 10, who has the shortest strides. So quite interesting also to compare the locomotor profiles this way and be able to see, yeah, the different types of horses we can have between, in theory, of course, milers, stayers, sprinters, for example, can be very easily seen here. So that's for the PDF reports. So those PDF reports, you can now, from now, it's available, set up for you to receive those by email or by WhatsApp every day for all the days where you have several horses that train. So I will show you how to set that up. It is very easy. You go on your account. From here, you can go in My Account, then in Settings. And in the settings, you can go in PDF Reports Configuration. Here you have training reports, which are the PDF reports that are sent to you every day with the summary of each of the trainings. And here we have comparison of the day. So automatically, you will have a first configuration created where you will have the report sent to you every day at 12 to your email address, so the email address of your account. But you can also create for those to be sent to you by WhatsApp. For this, you can be in touch with your CSM who will set that up for you. And it will be very soon available also for you to configure it yourself directly on your account. I hope this was useful for you. I wish you all the best in your data collection, and don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have a question, and we'll be happy to help you. Have a great day. Bye bye.